Everything takes a lot longer to do than we expect. It's something that's part of life, and I've touched upon it on other videos. Today, let's talk about the details. Roll it. Everything takes longer to do than we expect. This is a given fact of life. I think everybody's experienced this. If you haven't, you're a sports star, superstar, awesomeness, great. Leave a comment below if you are one of those so we can grab some knowledge. But for everybody else, let's look at the why. We set goals to succeed, and oftentimes we haven't spent enough of that time we need to set the goals that we should have spent, missing little things, and also addressing those risks in a mitigation fashion so we know what to do when risks do pop up. Emotional tendencies start to go in the negative direction when goals aren't being met, especially the smaller ones, and then voila, goals aren't met on time because we need to go back to that emotional state that we were on so we can keep moving and keep trying to smash those goals. So goals in general are rarely achieved on time and on scope, and this is a given for anybody and anything, like even the billion-dollar corporations who, they spend a lot of money on this stuff and they rarely achieve anything on time, on scope, and to that perfection that everybody was hoping to see on the outside. So what makes you special in this pursuit of being perfect in whatever you're doing? We got to get that mindset fixed up. Being able to really look at what we're capable of is critical to the success of what we're trying to achieve. If you didn't see yesterday's video, I'll leave it below and I'll post it up top. And I encourage you to stop right now, go watch that, and then come back to this because it's a critical, pivotal moment that we need to address. Once we can look at what we're capable of, we can start looking at it from a perspective of how much time do we have, and do we need to bring other people or other resources, we should call them resources, to the equation. Companies do this all the time, and this is why a budget needs to be created so we can address all the requirements in order to see the success of what we're trying to achieve. Buffers should be in place in any kind of goal or task you're doing. Putting a nice buffer time of maybe 10% of whatever you're doing will help you see the success you're looking for. We have a project going on right now, and the website, well, it's kind of like paused because there's a server issue that we never saw coming. Now, if we knew it was going to be there, then we would have figured that out, and that buffer is there so that we're able to mitigate the time of risks that we have, or mitigate the risks that we have through time, such that we are not going to be behind on the project. So we put a big buffer together on top of the smaller buffers of 10%, which in terms of a big project, it's days, not hours, and all of a sudden, we're not that stressed. We're not sweating buckets right now. We're just waiting patiently, or impatiently, you say, for this issue to be corrected. On the emotional side, we need to look at things and say to ourselves, all right, we're behind. I'm not going to achieve the time I want to achieve. I've made the mistake. I know for next time, we need to forgive ourselves. Mistakes happen, but we can't excuse it. What we end up doing is allowing ourselves to just let it go because we're excusing it as something else being the issue, and we're not being accountable. And when we're not accountable, well, failure just piles up. Follow the instructions on the video of what are you capable of, and look at the accountability. Look at what you can actually achieve in the time you actually place down, and expand that time. Be able to be real with yourself on what you can do, and success will start to happen a lot quicker than you think. Finally, we gotta mitigate those risks, and on that point, we need to adjust the goals. If we can adjust the goals effectively, allowing ourselves to put more time into the equation on the things that we're seeing are taking longer, now we're setting ourselves up for that success we need. A great example of this is when you're studying for a course and you realize that things are taking a lot longer to learn, maybe because you haven't spent enough time on it during the course, but the exam's here. How do we put in more of a buffer in the future tasks we need to learn? And once we can establish that and put more time on there, the risk level goes down, the stress level goes down, and now we have a working game plan that we can actually start seeing success with. Take some time and really ask yourself, am I doing enough in the planning stage? And if you're not, start incorporating some of these ideas in there over a month, 2 months, to see what positive results come out of it, and then start adding more into it so that success will start moving in that direction you want to see it. And if this is something you've done before and it's been working, or if it's something that you've been thinking about and you've analyzed already, leave a comment below or ask a question about that scenario, how to make it better, or if it became better with the changes you made. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, and of course watch the rest of the videos so you can start moving in the right direction.